Hi all, welcome to Java Talent. So in this today video tutorial we are just going to cover Spring Boot exception handling. So you know that like there is a lots of exception handling we have to perform in our real-time project. So basically sometimes we have to generate the custom exceptions. So sometimes we need to make our API run smooth. And you know that like exception handling is the crucial part of the any application, because without that we cannot deliver the any any project in a smooth manner and then as per the client expectations. You know that like every time we have to map our things as per the scenario. So let's start. In this today tutorial I'm just going to cover it simple exception handling, and then rather in the further tutorial we are just going to cover the more. Okay, so let me open the simple one applications. I'm just using this Eclipse ID, so you can use any ID. I'm just going to create one simple project, and I will let you know what are the dependency we have to add. So I'm just going to take it as Spring Boot API exception handling. Okay, so there is the one already that project has been created. So I'm just going to use Spring Boot exception handling. Okay, so I'm just going to use this group ID and then artifact ID. I'm just going to use a Spring Boot exception handling, a Spring Boot exception handling descriptions. I'm just going to provide here, and the main dependency I'm going to use here is Spring Web, and then MySQL driver, so that I can connect with the database. I'm just going to create some endpoint, some REST endpoint, so that you can map that, and then we will see like if user or customer is not there in the database, so we need to throw the some custom exception, and if that customer is already available into the database, so in that case also we are going to throw that exceptions in the custom exceptions. So, and I'm going to use this Lombok API and Spring Data JPA. So these are the four dependency you have to add: Spring Web, Spring Data JPA, Lombok, and then Lombok is for getter and setter and all. You know that like no construction and all, and Spring Web. So let me start it and then let me finish it. I need to open this project, Spring Boot exception handling one. Okay, so like you know that like Spring Boot is the built on top of the Spring, and it contains the lots of features in a Spring, so it is becoming the favorite tools that which we are using into our application, into the real-time example and all. So where is my project? This one. So let me open this one, and this is my main class from where our application will be bootstrap. And then in this application, the properties file, let me open the POM first. So if you see the pom.xml, what are the dependency you have added during your project creation? So you can just see that Spring Boot Data JPA, Spring Boot Starter Web, and this is the MySQL. I am using the MySQL, and this is the Lombok. So these are the four dependency which we have added, and let's start. Like first, let me create the model class. So first I have to create the model class. So let me create the package out of it. com dot java talent dot model. Let me create the package first. Okay, so that we can just go one by one. Com dot java talent dot controller, we need it, and then repository. So com dot java talent, I'm just going to create the repo for repository one, and then com dot java talent dot service we have already created. No, so then service. So these are the configuration, and then one more, the most important, which we are going to cover today as exception. So this is the one of the exception model package. Just I'm just going to cover, put it into all the exceptions classes here in this package. So let me start with the model first. I'm just going to cover it as one customer class. So basically I'm just going to create the customer class. So this is my model which I'm going to use. So I'm going to use that as entity. Entity annotations, you know that, like, it is going to use that persistence API, and then if you see, it is specifying the class as an entity and it will apply for that class. So entity, and then data. So if you see data, what it is going, it is coming from the lombok, and it will get generate the getter and setters and to string method and as call and equals method as well. So this is coming from the lombok, and all are constructor and no argument constructor. So it will generate you no argument constructor and all arguments constructor for you. Okay, so let me start. Like, what I'm going to use is, so first field I'm going to use as private long id, and then private string name. I'm just going to use private string and then address. I'm going to use two things only, name and address. Based on this id, it will take care. And then here I'm going to make this as the id as primary key, and then and generated value, it will be auto generated value. So generated value and strategy, I'm just going to follow some strategy. If you see that generation type dot, so it will be automatically follow the generation type dot what generation time I just wanted. Okay, so I'm just going to use that identity. If you see, that indicates that the persistent professional must assign the primary keys for this. So I'm going to use the value which I'm going to assign. Okay, so that's why I've taken as the identity. That's why, so that I can make the use of our custom exceptions, that if the id is already there into the database, then we need to throw the exception like this customer is already there into the database. That's it. And now I have to create the repo interface. So go to the repo package and create the interface. So I'm going to use this customer repository interface. So this interface basically extends the JPA repository. So you can just go through the JPA repository, like what is this is the JPA specific repository. It will be providing the implementation for all these things. So there is no need to differentiate all the things. So here if you see that I have to pass the model class. What the model class I just basically want to perform for this one, and then what should be the primary key. So I just wanted to take care. That's it. No need to do anything here, and you need to make the annotation. This will be our repository class. So here I am just going to perform this as the added repository. So now if this interface annotation is at the repository, because it will be coming the repository for you. So creating the custom made exceptions that can be thrown during our scenario, like when we are just performing the code operations. And then let me go for that. Okay, so let me create the interface for the service one, and then I will go with that. So let me create the interface customer service. Okay, so this customer service, I'm just going to kept only three methods for this interface. One is I just wanted to return the customer objects for the get customer method by providing the ID value. Okay, so one method, this one method I just want, and then other method. Okay, so I just wanted to get that adding the customer string add customer. Okay, so this is the two methods, and then third methods for updating it. So string update customer, I have to provide the customer information customer. Okay, that's it. So let me add the comment here for you as well, like method to get the customer by ID. So this will be method to get customer by ID. So this method will be add new customer into the DB. database. And third is for updating what method to update. So this you have to follow into your regular project work as well. We need to annotate the method descriptions, API. We have to perform this inline and outline comments. So means we have to follow these types of comments as well. This method, what it is going to perform and what it is. If you have written some complex logic, then also you have to write the things like what are the uh, one second. Yep. So what are that logic it is going to perform. So this type of inline comment you have to provide for you. Now I'm just going to create the implementation class for it. So customer service IMPL, which basically I have to implement it. So here my interface, that's it. So if you see there is the automatically overridden methods. What are the methods I'm just going to override? So that all three methods it is overridden here by default, but I do not want this logic should be here. So let me delete it and then I will write our own logic. So what I have just wanted to do it. Okay, so first one, let me go ahead and then this customer what I just wanted to be do that. So one second. Okay, so let me go with that what it is like what this method will be going to perform, this customer method. So this will be going to take the customer method and then it will return the custom exceptions. Okay, so means like what are the custom exceptions I just wanted. So before of that I need to inject our repository. We need to auto wire our repository class here. So private customer repo, whatever the repository we have created, customer repository. So customer repository, I need to auto wire it. Okay, so auto wired. Now let's see how we can create our methods to send the custom exceptions. So for example, like here I'm just wanted to return this custom repository. So let me do it. Custom repository dot, what I am going to do here is find by ID. Means based on the ID provided here, I'm just going to find the repository customer information basically. So and what I just want, or else if it is not finding that information, what I just wanted to do, I wanted to throw the some exceptions. Okay, so here if you see, I just wanted to throw new exceptions, new no such element exceptions. So this is the element I just wanted to create, no such element exception. Means if that customer is not there, means the ID what I am just going to provide, if that customer is not there, I wanted to throw this exception. So and I want to be send some message here like means dynamic message. So based on this ID, no such element exception I want, and here I want the message no customer present with ID, given ID. Which ID? Given ID, that ID. Okay, so first of that before of this, let me create the value here for that class. Let me create the exception class first, then I will go ahead and let you know what it is. Okay, so one second, why it is expecting id dot or else. Okay, here it is expecting to be one more. Okay, so means it will go and check whether that exception class is not there or there. So let me create the exception class first so that we can go one by one. So I wanted to be create the same class. Okay, so no such customer, what the class we have given, no such element exception. Okay, so let me check. So this is the exception, so no such exception. I have to import it. Let me see. Okay, so this is the this is the class what we have to do it. Let me see that. See, it is coming from util, no such element exception. So this class is, if you see, thrown by the various successor methods and indicate that the element being requested does not exist. So this is the predefined method from the util class I'm just going to use, and that custom message I'm going to provide with that ID. So for now it is fine. So let me go with the next one. So next method what it will do is it will create the customer based out of the customer whatever the information I'm just going to provide here. So let me do implementation for here, like, so I'm adding the customer. So customer existing customer is equal to repo dot save, means I just wanted to save that customer. So before of that means I have to check whether the customer is there or not. So let me 1 second. Customer existing customer is equal to, I just wanted to check whether the customer is there or not. So first I have to call the find by method, find by id method. Okay, why I'm doing it? Because I just wanted to check whether the customer is there or not. So based on that get id, if you see here customer dot get id, I'm just checking whether the uh, customer is there or not, or else if it is not there, if the customer is not there, okay, then I just wanted to return null here, null. Okay, so what it will do, it will check whether the id is there, means the customer, the given customer have that id is there in the database or not. If it is not there, then I have to check if existing customer is equal to null. Okay, if existing customer is equal to null, means what we are saying is there is no any customer, then it will go and create the customer repo dot, then it will save the customer, save that customer, that's it. Okay, so means this will first check whether the customer is there or not. In this case it will check whether the existing customer is null. If it is null, then only it will create, else it will not do anything. And here I just wanted to return one simple message, customer added successfully, customer added successfully. In the case of if it is not there, so let me 1 second, let me remove from here. In the success scenario I just wanted to return it. In the else block, means if it is not that case, then what I have to return, I have to return some message. Okay, so if that customer is not there, what I will told that the customer is already, customer already exist with the given id. Fine, customer already exists, that's it. Okay, so this method first it will check whether the customer is there or not. If it is not there, then it will create, means save it to the database, otherwise it will send the message like customer already exists. So in the case of update, let me do that. In the update scenario, what we have to do is we have to check whether the same thing, we have to check whether the customer is there or not. If customer is there, then only we have to update it. So let me remove this one first. So if customer, I am checking here, like same thing, find by id customer dot get id, or else what I am going to do is null, and I am checking whether the customer is there or not. Okay, so if existing customer, same thing, dot means existing customer is equal to null. If it is null, then we do not need to do anything, correct? So we need to throw the exceptions. You throw new no such customer exists exception, and these exceptions I have to create manually by sending the message. And here what message I will do, no such customer exists. Okay, so this is the new custom exception I am going to create. I need to create this class. Okay, else what I have to do is I need to update that. Fine, existing customer dot set name, I need to take it from the customer dot get name. Then I have to set that name. Fine, and same way existing customer dot add, not add, set address, customer dot get address. Okay, because id will be automatically from the id only we are checking that whether the customer is exist or not. And then we have to do it as customer repo dot save that, which one, existing customer, not the customer, it is existing customer, because that customer only we are just checking whether that customer is there or not. Okay, so in that case what I have to do, I need to return some message, because this method is expecting to return some string, and I can just record updated successfully. Fine, and this class I have to create. So let me go to that exception one, create this class. It's okay. So what is this, is the class no such customer exist exception. So let me create the two exception class. One is no such customer exists, and other one is customer already exists. Okay, so I'm just creating no such customer exists first, so it should be extends the runtime exception. Runtime, because I'm creating this custom exception, that's why we have to extend the runtime exceptions class. Okay, so private, you can do anything, like you can put, I'm just here printing the message from this custom exception class. You can do anything, like you can put more than one field as well, message, cause, and anything. Okay, public no such customer exist exceptions constructor. Okay, so string message super message message. Okay, fine. Same way I have to create one more class. What that class is, customer already exists. Okay, in the case of customer is already exist, customer already exist exception, so it should also extend the runtime exception. Okay, So here not the interface. Okay, not from here, let me add it from there itself, so not an issue. Extends runtime exception. Other thing is same only, so just let me copy from there. We can just change it, and this method it should be this. Other things I'm just keeping it as same only. Customer already exists, and customer no such customer exist exceptions. Okay, so let me go back to the implementation class. So if you see that here, if you import it, now our error should gone. Okay, so okay, so this is the things like our service class is ready. Okay, so now I have to create the controller customer controller class. Okay, so here I have to annotate this class with REST controller as usual to make this controller class as REST controller class, and then I have to so I have to inject that service customer service service. Okay, that's it. Auto wiring it. I am just need to auto wire this one. Now let me create the method actual call, get call or post call, whatever you are saying. So now I'm just going to create the get customer by ID. So here I'm just going to create one simple method, public customer get customer at the rate path param. You can see it through the details like what is the path, sorry, not path param, it should be path variable at that path variable, because I just wanted to take it by ID here, so it should be ID long ID. Okay, so this will return you the customer. So service dot let me write it here, customer service. Okay, so customer service dot get customer by that ID. That's it. Okay, so this will return you the customer. Now I have to add the customer, and I have to provide this. What it should be? It should be get mapping, correct? Because I was just going to do it with the get call, and here I have to provide the URL. So I just wanted to give it as get customer, and as we are using the path variable, so I need to provide the placeholder for it. So I'm providing placeholder for ID. Now I have to add the new customer, add new customer, so it should be post call. Okay, so public string add customer method I just wanted to give here, and what we have to provide is customer as request body. Okay, so customer and here what we have to go it is request body, because this should be our request body. Oh, customer, sometimes if you are doing a auto import it will be like this. So add I need to add this customer, so what we have to return is simple that add call, return customer service dot add customer. That's it. Okay, and here it should be post call at the rate post mapping, and URL I'm just going to give it as slash add customer. That's fine. Okay, now the third method I'm just going to use is to update the customer. So for update, what should be? Put mapping. Put and patch mapping is there, so you can just go through what is the difference between that. So one is going to do the complete update and one is going to do the partial update. So please figure out what should be that differences. Okay, so public string update customer, same customer object we have to provide, and here it should be at the rate request body. Okay, and here return that customer service dot update customer. What should be? It should be put mapping of update customer. That's it. Okay, for now it is fine. Now let's run this project first, and then I will let you know that like how we can check that whether the our custom exception, how we can apply that custom exceptions to our project. So let me do one thing here. I need to do one thing, configurations, because I'm just using some different version of JRE. Okay, so my JRE is okay, JDK 18. So let me run this project for you, and I will see what should be the things. So if you see here, see, okay, so it is giving some error. Okay, no problem, I will fix it. So if you see here, it is going to create the table for me. If you see, it has been already running that create table query, and it is failed due to that 8080 port is already used. So let me do one thing. I have to do one more thing here. I need to put some server dot port. I need to change the port, that's it, because my 8080 port is already used by some other application. And one more thing here, I have to provide some database configurations. I will let you know here. I have just written it in some notepad. So if you see here, Spring database URL, this is the MySQL URL. Same thing like driver class name, it should be same. So this is the schema name. So for me it is Java Talent. I have created my schema. You can just create your schema name and you can just provide your schema name here. So for my MySQL database username and password is root, and root I have given as both. So you can just use your configuration, and this should be delete, and this is the generated auto DDL because I just wanted to use this. You can just give you can see like true and false. So true I just wanted to use for the auto generation, and here if you see that like there is the merge, create create drop, none, update and validate. So this is the DDL auto, like what the update, what the basically performance, what the means details I just wanted to provide. Like if the table is there, I just wanted to update the table and just new create the table. So that's what. And this will be show you the SQL query onto your console. Like if you see here, so in our case in the console, one second, let me put it back here. So if you see in the console, this query is running because this is the things, like I have just given the true, that's why this query is running into our console. Okay, so now let me run it. This time it will run to that port 8082. Okay, let's see. Oh, 8080. One second. Why it is running that way? Because some other application is using. So you just need to go to the main class and Java JRE. Okay, it is telling me that this project is using some different JRE. Why so? SpringBoot exception handling. Okay, let's see. Let me apply the JRE and then I will run it. Yeah, now this time it should go, I know, and it will create the MySQL workbench. Let me open that. This will create the customer table. Oh, I forgot to show you that like the table was not already there, and it will create the table for me due to that. Okay, so let me open it. Okay, let me open my schema Java talent one, and then if you see here, the tables is customer, it has been created. So this has been created due to this things only. If you want, I can just drop this table, and let me stop this application. So second time if I will run here, so if you see, I don't have customer table now, and if you runs once again this application, it will create the table for you, and you can see the script here. See, create table customer ID, this one and this one, it has been created this table. And if you go there, and if you just refresh my schema, you should be able to see the customer table. See, so now my customer table is already created from this starter, but there is no any records in that. Okay, so this is fine, this is not a big deal. I just wanted to show you that the like how we can do my stuff for the exception handling part. So let me do one thing here. Okay, so let me open the Postman for testing the API. So let me open this controller class. What are the mapping we have given? Just we have given this get mapping, add for post mapping, and this one. Okay. So let it be. You can just go through the browser also for the get call, not an issue. But for other call, we need to use the different. So get localhost 8082. What is the difference? 1 second. Get customer ID. So okay, so get customer ID. I just wanted to show you onto the browser. That's it. Get customer ID. So it is giving that. Okay. Why our application is running? No. Oh, we got some exception. Oh, yeah, fine. Because if you see here, it is querying best, it is querying fine, but no customer present with ID 1. That's why it is giving me the error. But if you hit it from this, yeah, from here, you can just see. 1 second, unauthorized. Not unauthorized. I just wanted to see here. So if you see here, this is the predefined. Spring has provided some template for the exceptions. If you see, this is the given this like 500 server error, but we do not understand like why it is giving. But if you see here the path, this is saying that path error is internal server error and timestamp is. This is the predefined format that what Spring Boot is following. So this is the default exception handling by Spring Boot itself. No such element exceptions. Basically this one is like, okay, so now let me do one thing. I need to use the Spring Boot exception handler annotation, and this annotation will provide the Spring Boot that can be used to handle the exception in the particular handler class or the method, and this will be performed from the error response. So let me create the error response. What the error response I want? So in the same exception package, let me create one class error response. I want the different error, not this one. This is the by default. I just wanted to some different error response. So I'm just going to create this error response. I just wanted to use the getter setter from the Lombok API, all arguments, no arguments, @ no args. Okay, now what I want is, I want different thing like public int status code, a status code. Okay, the one thing is I just wanted is integer status code, and different second thing is string message. Okay, this is the two things I want, not this one. Okay, so I have to let me stop my application first, and here you can just generate the so I just wanted to generate the constructor from superclass. One second. Let me use this field. I want only the message from the superclass, not this status code. Okay, so leave this one, second part, as it is. Fine. Now this is the custom exception response I just wanted to be printed. Okay, add the custom. Now I have to add the exceptions message from our controller class, exception handler, how it will be handle our exception. So I have to add one exception handler method into the controller class so that it will be populate to that particular. I will let you know the two way. First, I will let you know that exception handler method, how it will be added to the controller so that it will be handle the customer already exist exception. First exception, whether the customer is already there or not. So that exception I want. So let me create one that public error response, that our custom error response. Okay, it will return that custom error response. Handle customer already exists exception. Okay, this will handle the customer already exists exception. I just wanted to be use the annotations response status. I just wanted to give some response status as our status. So not http, http status. Why it is not coming? Okay, so first of that response status, let me annotate this one with the exception handler, because this method I wanted to be exception handler. So then it will value that class. What is the class? Customer already exist. Okay, so this class I just wanted to make these exceptions as the value for this one. Now if you see, it will http status. No, one second. So http status dot conflict. I just wanted to see whether the customer is there, then it will be throw that exception, like whether the customer is there or not. So if customer is already exists, it will throw these exceptions with based on this one. And here I just wanted to print that message like customer already exists. What exception? Customer same class. One second, not, I do not want to do any mistake here. That exception. Fine. And what it will return? Return new error message, error response. It will return the new error response. What? http status dot conflict dot value. That value first point, and the second thing is like the message dot get message. That's it. Understand? You have to annotate your exception handler things, like it is the handling the exception specific to the handler class or handler methods, and this method which is annotated with that annotations to allow our having the flexibility that we can change the signature and all the details. So if customer is already exists, then it will throw these exceptions. Okay, so first point is that let me add manually one customer. Okay, so let me add one customer, one address New Delhi, name Java talent. Okay, so if you hit one second, one New Delhi Java talent. I have to save this one. Okay, let me apply, execute, finish. Now if you see, okay, not Java talent, I have just given the wrong name. Apply, select. Okay, so I have given one one ID which is 1. Okay, so let me hit the end point first. You can understand, like let me hit this end point. Oh, my application has stopped. Okay, let me run it once again. I'm just going little slow, but yeah, you need to grab it basically. Okay, so now if you hit it, see, you can see the response. Fine, because this is already there. And if I will hit that post call adding the customer with the same ID, one ID, you can give any name, not an issue, Rahul or Hyderabad, fine, but it will validate based on this one second, I have to change this one. I'm not using that URL. See, customer already exists. This is message which I am getting here. Okay, so this is coming from the custom exceptions class. If you see that, like what is the message we have given that, and one more thing I have to do it. Okay, so let me do that and then I will let you know. It is giving me the customer already exists. Status code is 200. I have to change the status code as well because I just wanted to give that, like whether the status code is different or not. So let me inject one more method. So one second. Okay, so now under running this Spring Boot application, you have, I'm just going to use the controller advice. So this is the global exceptions for that customer is no customer exists. Okay, so let me copy same thing. Okay, so I have to create one more global custom exception handler class basically, and so that I can put it here. So this is the first part. If you see, this is the things like from the method, this is handler method, and I need to class to handle the exception globally. Like for example, I just wanted to use the controller advice. You know that the controller advice is used for global exception handler, and where we have to enter that class as the controller advice, and then we can go ahead. Okay, so let me create that class. Global handler exception, and this class I'm just going to annotate with controller advice. So this will be our advice means controller class. Okay, so I just wanted to use that public one second, public error response. I wanted to be use this error response handle exception no such customer exists. Okay, so one second, I just create that one method handle exception. So this method will be like this. Okay, so this is the method like error response handle exception no such, what is the class, no such customer exists. Let me copy it better way. You can follow the same thing because we do not want to make any silly mistake also. Okay, so because you know that like sometime we are having the typo mistake, so in that case it will be very difficult to find out what are the means basically mistake we have done. So here I need to make this as exception handler and value of that class. So same class I need to provide here. Likewise, we have already done it. Dot class and then response body. Okay, so at the rate response status. So what is the status? HTTP status dot bad request. I wanted to use that as bad request. Okay, and here error response, here I am just going to give it as error response. That's why we have to annotate this as at the rate response body. This is the body I just wanted, and here it will return the your new error response. New error response HTTP status dot not found dot value, that value basically, and then the second parameter will be the message, that message get message. Fine, that's it. So this is the custom exception just I want to be there. Okay, so it is giving some syntax error. One second, let me figure it out. Oh, new error response here, it should be fine. Okay, so let me run once again this application. And if you see, like whenever we are going to do that update customer, so it will give that like no such customer exists if that customer is not there. Okay, so okay, fine. So let me check whether what are the details is there. So one details is there. Let me add some more. Customer already exists. Let me add with the 2. It will add because this is the add customer. Customer added successfully. Let me add one more customer, 3. Tanya, Pune. Okay, so if you do that, that is not the big deal. If you do that like 7, for example, I am adding this 7. Let me see. So it is saying that no such customer exists. See our custom code for not 4. If that custom code is not there, you will definitely see the different things. That will be the from the SpringBoot. Okay, so no such customer exists. That is what our call is. But if customer is already there, for example, one ID is already there. I just wanted to update that. See, one second. Oh, it will update. Definitely it will update because that customer is there, and then different is like what I want is, one second. If first scenario you got like if customer is not there, any customer, so we must get no such customer exist. Okay, and if a customer already exists and I just wanted to add that customer once again here in this scenario, then it will give me the problem. Let's see. 1 2 3 1 2 3 3 is there. Let me add it. One second. Why it is not adding? 2. See, customer already exists. So we are getting the message, but we are not getting the our status code. It is coming 200, but we are expecting to be 409. Okay, let me see like why that custom exception is not coming. Okay, so if you see here, we are just checking whether the customer during our add customer, we are just checking whether the customer is already there or not. We are just returning the simple message. Okay, so in place of returning the simple message, we need to throw that exceptions. So customer already exists, that our class, and that message we have to print. Okay, so okay, new return new customer already exists. Okay, this is the, one second, let me stop it first. Okay, so let me throw new customer already exist. Okay, so this is the message, custom message I want. Okay, okay, so this was the problem. So in this scenario, like if it is there, so we are just adding that customer, otherwise we are just throwing that custom exception. So this is our custom exception. If you see that message and then that error code, super error code, because that error code also we are just importing. So let me run again, because what if we are getting is like we are just getting that message, correct? So now I have to check why it is not coming the message code, our custom code. It should be 409. Okay, so let it be, run this code, run this, it is running. So if you see during our add customer, as customer is already there with 2. If you are adding again the customer with 2 ID, it should throw the customer already exists. Okay, now we are getting it, customer already exists, and then our custom exception. What we have created the status code also, like if you see the status code 409 conflict status code we have given into the controller, if you remember. See, so this is the status code we have given as the conflict, and then what we are getting it also. This is the expected. Yep. So this is for today. Yep. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yep. Please subscribe my channel and go through the video.